Local SEO, link building, SEO tips. We are live. That's phenomenal. We have some local SEO tips for link building, along with some other tips as well. We will go ahead and get into the video. Hello there. My name is Chris Palmer. In this video, I'd like to share with you 6 local SEO link building tips. If you don't want to stick along for the explanations of why these are important tips, the first thing we'll be discovering and going over is link building, or building links to each page, why that's important for your local site. 2, treat all pages like your home page. Number 3, increase internal links to important pages. We'll discuss how you can do this and why to do this. 4, building your silos too deep. Stop it. Number 5, spending resources on design instead of links and content. I'll explain why that's important. And 6, tiered link building. It's seriously lacking in local markets. So of course, these are the 6 tips that we're going to discuss in today's video. I don't want to waste any time. Let's get into the very first tip. So building links to each page. Now, first and foremost, as I go ahead and explain this, building links to each page is absolutely crucial. And the reason is because your competition is not doing this. And here's what I mean. You have your location pages. Let's just pull somebody out of the blue. And let me share with you why this is a competitive advantage. Most local markets, people in local markets, are not doing this. Again, let's go ahead and give you a quick example. Here's what I mean by this. So if we were to take, say, a plumber, okay? So a plumber in, I don't know, St. Pete, okay? St. Petersburg, Florida. So plumber, St. Petersburg, Florida, not the lowest competition, not the highest competition. Let's see who the top performers are. So we have Roto-Rooter, we have Expertise, Home Advisor. Here is the top performer, but better yet, let's take a look at this big top competitor. So this is Roto-Rooter, a big national brand. So let's go ahead and take a look here at this particular page and see it so I can explain to you what I mean by this. So we're going to go ahead and take a look at the backlink analytics utilizing SEMrush, okay? So what we're going to do is just pull their backlink profile in that exact page. You see, building links to these internal pages, if we take a look at this, I'll just share this with you here quick. All right. So as we can see here, we're going to take a look at the backlinks, referring domains for this exact URL, this exact page. They've only built 33 links. And this is Roto-Rooter, 33 referring domains to this page. And they're a top performer. Can you imagine taking a look down the list? And again, this is a $480, $50 keyword. The top performer only has 33 referring domains pointing at that page. All right. So what I'm getting at is, can you imagine if I'm not going to waste too much more time here, but if we were to take this particular competitor here and pull in that exact URL that's ranking for a $50 per click keyword, the top performer only built 33 referring domains. 33 referring domains is very easy to acquire. So my very first tip, again, if we come back over here, is build links to the internal pages. You know, I've covered this to extent. You know, the same care, and this brings me into number 2, is treat all pages like your homepage. I see a lot of effort and emphasis on the homepage. You're building your links, you're building your press releases, you're building your citations to the homepage. In 2015, 14, 13, that was great, right? But now we need to show the same importance to our internal pages, right? Our location pages, our service pages that we do to our homepage. As you can see, Roto-Rooter, this is just one competitor, has only built 33 referring domains. Can you imagine if we built a press release or we built internal citations to our internal pages? We're going to outcompete them over time. I completely understand that the root domain, right, the homepage is, you know, power trickles down. Chris, why shouldn't I build power to the homepage? Power trickles down. I completely understand that. However, we know this as SEOs, but Google ranks pages, not sites. So if you show importance to an internal page, you will perform a lot better. All right. Give it the same importance as the homepage. Build your citations, your press releases, build it to the homepage. Moving into tip number 3. So number 3 is increase the internal links to important pages. I know that this is a link building local SEO tips guide, all right? But increasing the internal links to the most powerful pages is essential. And I'm going to go ahead and just draw out a diagram so you can get a better, just a visual understanding of this. I'm a visual learner. I'm sure you are as well. So let me share with you exactly what you should be doing here. All right. And this is just one outcome. I'm going to go ahead and draw this out for you just so you have a general understanding of what I mean by this. So building internal links to the most important pages. So let's say you have a blog. All right, so you're a plumber. We'll stick with this same example. You have your service pages, you have your location pages, and then it's, why should I hire a plumber from, yourwebsite.com instead of Angie's? Maybe that's a blog post. On that post, you've been building links because that's the reason for this. We're targeting long tail key phrases to start increasing traffic authority, and we're building links to that page. Why? So we can distribute links safely to other pages. Why do we want to build them to our blog pages instead of our service and location pages? Well, we want to build them there, but we can build them more rapidly to the blog pages because if something were to happen, if I were to ensue a penalty, remember, Google ranks pages, not sites. If I ensue a penalty on a blog page, I'll just get rid of the blog page. And then after I reconsider, I'll just relaunch the page after the reconsideration request goes through. You get what I'm saying? If something happens to that page, we can move on. If I lose my main location page that I've been working on for the last 6 years and it's a client's website, that's going to be a problem. But we can adjust with the blog post. So if you're building blog posts to increase overall traffic authority and build your backlinks, again, let's move into how we can increase internal links to the important pages. So again, this is a blog page, all right? This is your website. This is a blog page that you've built, okay? So on this page, you're going to have your main content, all right? And I've covered this before, but this is so important. I'm going to maybe talk about it in a different light, all right? So on your blog page, you're going to have your header, okay? A header is something that's inside of the metadata. This is a heading tag within HTML code. All right, so inside the header or your header links are going to be drop-down menus, right? They're going to have your locations, they'll have your services, right? You'll have your portfolio, so on and so forth. Now, down here at the bottom, you're going to have your footer tag. Again, you should be repeating the same links that are up at the top. Your main navigational should be repeated down in the footer, but you're going to include some others in the footer. All right, and these others are going to be your HTML sitemap, your contact form, your GDRP, your privacy policy. You'll have some extras down there, but those will be no follow site-wide. All right, but the reason is I'm doubling up links site-wide across the website. So we know that anchor text and internal linking is going to help pass juice. Now, to go back to my point here, increase internal links to important pages. This is a blog post. This blog post's sole purpose is to increase traffic, right? Increase traffic authority. If I increase my traffic authority, I can increase the traffic of my overall site. But also, this is also a link magnet. This is a way that I can, plausible deniability, start building links for a reason. Also, it's a way, it's almost like an internal buffer. I'm able to protect my client site or your site, your business site. This is your main website. You can't risk your service and locale pages. You can't risk it. You just can't. So again, we can build links here, but we need to pass power to the pages that matter. What pages matter, Chris? Well, if I'm a plumber in Houston, I have a page that's called Houston Plumber, right? Houston Plumber. What pages matter? But not just in Houston. I have location 2, locale 2. I have locale 3. I have locale 4. Well, in the sidebar, in the body content, the most important place to put a anchor text or an internal link or a hyperlink, right? Because it's weighted differently. There's different weights to a page. The body content contextual links are weighted differently than, say, a footer link or a header link. They're almost even, but it's slightly better and it's contextual. So what do? So if we go to number 3 here, increase internal links to important pages, all of the pages, Houston Plumber page, location 2 page, location 3, location 4, or maybe you have other important pages, they should go inside of the sidebar or a secondary footer. You can be creative. You can make a sidebar, left bar. You can make those like little dots, I forget what they're called off the top of my head, like an unstructured list at the top that's just going to important pages or pages of interest. However you want to lay it out, it's fine. But the objective is to get internal links to important pages from the body content on blog posts that I've been building links to. All right, so that's tip number 3. Number 4, building silos too deep. I see this, it makes me crazy. So let me share this with you, okay? Building your silos or building out supporting pieces of content is a great idea. It's a good idea, okay? There's nothing wrong with 1 or 2 pieces of content as a supporting piece of content. But what I see consistently is this, and I'm going to explain why it can be a problem, all right? Not in all instances, but don't build them too deep. So here's what I'll see. This is going to be an example of what I see and then a way to remedy this, okay? So what I see oftentimes is you have a website that's, www.website.com, okay? And then I'll see stuff like / we'll say, let's say Florida, okay? / Broward, Broward, county, okay? Broward County. And then I'll see a / so Florida, Broward County, Fort Myers, / pick your service. All right. We're 1, 2, 3, 4 levels deep. And every time we skip a layer, we're showing less and less importance to the page that's at the end. Now, I completely understand if you're 1 or 2 levels. So you have the Florida page, and then you have a supporting piece of content to help power this up, right? Completely understandable. As we're moving forward here, we're showing less and less importance to this page. So oftentimes people will put their Houston plumber here, but it's the 4th level deep. Look how long this string is. What reason does Google have this? Why would your website be so important that they're going to crawl that deep? And on top of it, how often is that page getting cached? Once a month? So please, if there's a page of importance, show importance to it. Build a ton of internal links to it. Build external links to it. Treat it like your homepage. These are all the tips that I'm giving here. Build links to that page. Treat the page like you did the homepage. If I build press release to that page, if I want to rank this page, do the same thing. Because oftentimes, I'll have customers come to me, and even myself in the past, I'm doing all this work on the homepage. The homepage is doing great, but what about these pages? Because you're not showing the same importance. And I want your business to thrive. So in any case, this is building the silos too deep. If it's on your website, then it's important. If it's not important, get it off the site. All right, let's keep going. Number 5, spending resources on design over content and links. Trust me, as I move forward and I'm working with, say, dentists or chiropractors or attorneys, design is definitely a conversion-based metric, okay? I completely understand that. However, I'm not going to spend, $200 on a listicle or $300 on a custom image, whatever, custom imagery, custom design. All this money has been spent. What's the purpose of having these beautiful images, these beautiful, just like infographics, and all this money and resource and time and thought has been spent on something that no one's even going to see because it's not ranking? When you break down SEO, it comes to the SEO is resources, right? Time and budget. Time and budget. Allocate dollars in the beginning of a campaign to building out quality content first, no matter what. Quality doesn't have anything to do with paying $5 per, 100 words or something. No. Quality is well optimized, answering the query content, and then get a few more links than the competitor has, or get higher quality links than the competitor has to that content. Once it's receiving traffic, or if it's, generating sales or generating interest,
then it's going to be worth it. It's an investment at that point to maybe go ahead and put an infographic or some gorgeous hero images up at the top and spend that time, spend that budget, spend that resource, spend that mental power, designing and crafting the perfect page. All right. So please, if no one sees it, no one sees it, right? Get it seen first and then worry about the other things at the end. All right. Content links is king. Moving on, 6, tiered linking. So this will wrap up this entire thing here. And, you'll have, you've spent the time, you've created your homepage, your service pages, your location pages, okay, for a local website. You started answering queries as far as, you have your blog post and you've been building links this entire time. At some point, it's really nice not to have to pay full retail for something, right? And the objective and the reason for tiered linking is so I can do lower cost link building at a faster rate without harming or, putting my website into danger. So if I've been doing quality SEO the entire time, I've been building out my press releases, foundational links and citations and guest posts, and I've been internally linking and building out blog posts, answering the queries, doing, technical gap analysis and making sure I'm up on a server. I'm spending tons of mental capacity on making sure that my site is optimal. At some point, don't you want it, I want you to have it pay off for you. So you've already been building these links. So send links to your links. You go over here to SEMrush, or if you like Ahrefs, it doesn't matter. I use SEMrush. You come into here, okay? This is exactly how I do it. You can get cheap, whatever you want. You want to get do follow comment links? Great. You want to get niche edits for $2, $4, $5, $7 a pop? Excellent. You want to go get your dollar, probably more like $3 or $4 PBN links or guest posts, or you want to go get profile links or EDU links or whatever's inexpensive or cheaper than the links that you've built, but you want to get more power. Here's how you do it. So let's say you have a website. Let's take Roto-Rooter, for instance. What you'll do is this, because it's already in here. You're going to go ahead and go into SEMrush, put your backlink or put your website inside of there. We want to take a look at the root domain. All right. Once you have the root domain, we want to take a look at the backlinks, the actual backlinks, not referring domains, backlinks. Once inside of backlinks, there's a couple of things, a couple buttons that you'll have to press. So the first one is we only want active links. So we went from 6,500 down to, we have a lot here. This is a big site. Then we're going to go to follow. And then we're going to go to mobile. So they have to be mobile, they have to be follow, and they have to be active. All right. You can put another advanced filter on there, only one from one domain, but usually I do that after because I want to take a look and see, because when I export this list, you're going to export. And when you export the list, if I have, say, 7 links coming from the same website, like let's take a look at this quick. All right. So, let's say that this is hr.virginia, this one's hr.virginia, and this one's hr.virginia. What I'm looking for is I want to tier the link to the page that has the least amount of external links on it. So see inside of here, it'll be on your report. See external links. This is how many links are going out from that page. So I want to tier my links. I want to send more links to that link, but only on the one that's distributing the least amount of external links. So if there's only 2 external links on there, better yet, 1, it's only linking to me. Great. That's the one that I want to use. So again, you'll put in your backlink profile, the entire domain. All right. Go to your backlinks, active, follow, go to the mobile friendly, take a look at the list, export the entire list. And then if you have doubles that are the same, sort those by external links going out, and then get this list and start sending the cheapest links you can. If you have GSA or if you have these automated tools, whatever you want, as long as it's less expensive than the links that you initially built. You'll find excellent success by following these 6 tips. My name's Chris Palmer. If you have any future questions related to local SEO or link building, anything, doesn't matter. I'm always happy to help you. Feel free, go ahead and ask in the section below. And I always look forward to seeing you in the next local SEO, link building SEO tips, video. Have a wonderful night. Bye-bye.